I don't know if you guys jotted any down as I was reading, but if you have any that you'd like to say, you can either type it into the chat box or you can unmute and tell me one that you heard. Okay, here's the page I wanted. So if you do happen to have this book at home, I'm on page 94. Okay, so the first one I'm going to do, it says here, Esperanza leaned around the side of the truck. As they rounded a curve, it appears as if the mountains pulled away from each other, like a curtain opening on a stage. Like a curtain opening on a stage. Okay, so she says the mountains appeared to be pulling away from each other like a curtain opening up on a stage. So the meaning of this simile is that as they were driving, the mountains opened up into view. I know I'm writing this kind of small, so I hope you guys can see. Over here under simile, we wrote that the mountains were pulling apart like a curtain opening on a stage. And what that means is as they were driving in, the mountains opened up into view. All right, and then next, when they saw the valley, they said it spread out like a blanket of patchwork fields. Spread out like a blanket of patchwork fields. And if you've ever driven through any land like this with a valley, can you picture that there's different colored rectangles when you look out over the valley? So it does look like a patchwork quilt. So the land looks like a patchwork quilt. And so while you're writing that down, I'm going to look up an image. Of patchwork quilt and then land. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen real quick. Here's what a patchwork quilt is. And then here's what the land looked like when they looked out over it. See all the different colored rectangles that look like a patchwork quilt. Okay, and then last simile. Let's do the road leveled out on the valley floor. She gazed back at the mountains from where they come. They looked like monstrous lions' paws resting on the edge of the ridge. So again, talking about the mountains. Now that they leveled out onto the valley floor, they looked like monstrous lion's paws resting on the edge of a ridge. And so on the valley floor, the mountains now looked huge. Okay, so the mountains looked like monstrous lion's paws. And all of this was on page 94. All the similes I wrote was page 94. Page 94. Okay. I'm going to be turning this page here to now write out the metaphors. I'm just going to give you guys a few minutes to finish writing that last one.